kids, it's me, Toni Homeperm, the singing diva of Long Island. If you enjoy videos where you get to see me create fabulous drag looks, then guess what? You've come to the right channel. Now today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've already done the video creating this look, and I'll put a link to that down below. But today I thought I would do something I've never done. It's called the Eyeshadow Palette Tag, and this is actually Eyeshadow Palette Tag number 2, and this was created by Samantha March and Alexis Glines. I will put links to them down below, and what they did is they came up with questions about eyeshadow palettes, just for anybody to make a video on and answer and share with everybody here on YouTube. So that's what I've decided to do. I'm taking part in this Eyeshadow Palette Tag 2, and we're just gonna jump right into it. And there were a list of questions that they came up with for people's eyeshadow collections, and so we're gonna start with the very first one, which is all-time favorite. And I gotta tell you, all of these questions are so hard for me because what's a favorite for me one day is not the favorite the next, and then again I have so many multiple favorites of things. So these are just the answers that I came up with right here and now. Are they going to be the same after the video is over? Probably not, but that's what the answers are right now. So my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette right now, I'm just going to go with this one. It's the Beauty Bay Bright Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It's a 42 pan palette, and it is just beautiful. Let me get the plastic off of here. I've done so many looks with this palette. It's a beautiful rainbow palette, and honestly, I go back and forth between this and the Blends palette. The only thing I will say is I've had this longer than the Blends palette, but you know, it's a great palette. It really is. So for the moment, it's my all-time favorite palette because I love all the colors in it. I love the formula, and it's extremely affordable. I mean, I've seen this on Beauty Bay for as low as 15 bucks, and you know, if you buy a certain amount on Beauty Bay, you get free shipping. So I think it's mainly for all of those reasons I've decided to name it the all-time favorite for this video. But it's a beautiful palette, and I actually used it to create the look that I'm wearing today, and I love how the look came out. So it's a great palette, it really is. Okay, next on the list was new favorite, and honestly, I just couldn't choose between these two. I love these two so much, I really do. They're the BH Cosmetics, the Absinthe, and the Venom palette. And these were from their Poison Shock collection, and you know, two color stories that I just really love so much are embodied in these two palettes. And of course, that's, you know, a green and like sort of a black gray smoky cool toned, which is actually the look I'm wearing today. It must be why I love the look so much. But these two palettes, they're really the best from that collection. I mean, they're all good. The blue is very good too, but there's just something about these that they just I just gravitate to them so much. I've used these multiple times, and I just love them, especially this color, Elixir from the Absinthe palette. I mean, look at that. Isn't that stunning? Stunning. And actually, a lot of these tones are very similar to the new Odin's Eye Hela palette. Is it Hela? Hela? I don't know. I don't have that palette, but it's a beautiful palette, and I guess I think so because it's got a lot of these tones. Yeah, I just love these two palettes. They are my two new favorites. I just couldn't choose between them. Sorry. Okay, the next is a palette you keep for the memories, and I know a lot of people chose this one for a palette you keep for the memories, and it's the Sydney Grace and Mel Thompson collaboration, the Tiny Marvels. It's a beautiful palette. Let me just show it to you there. More of a neutral palette than what I usually use, but I've been getting more into neutrals, and I really should do another look with it. I've yet to create a look that I'm truly happy with, but my makeup skills, over this past year have increased quite dramatically, in my own opinion, because I've been doing makeup videos, like at least 3 or 4 times a week, plus performing. So I've been doing a lot of makeup. And I think I really just want to do one video with this where I create a look that I really, really love. But the thing about it is, Mel Thompson was one of the first influencers to like ever comment something to me, and I think she reposted something on Instagram that I had mentioned her in a video, and she was just such a beautiful soul, and taken from all of us far, far, far too soon, and Sydney Grace, they keep releasing this palette, and I would highly recommend you get the palette. All the funds generated from the sales of it, they go to help Mel's family, and it's just, it really is, it's a beautiful palette, and I have such fond memories of Mel, and a lot of people do, and actually, the one video that I did on this palette was because she had passed away, and I just really felt it quite deeply, even though I didn't know her personally, and it happened to be one of my one video that kind of like blew up, for me, on YouTube, and which I never made it, with any intent of anything other than just for what I was feeling. I just wanted to make the video. I would never, try to capitalize off somebody's passing. So I made the video just because I had just found out she passed, and I just, I really deeply felt there was a huge loss for the world. And I made that video using the palette, and it's really what kick-started my YouTube into a higher gear as far as, doing videos, and, now Instagram and TikTok and all of that. So, yeah, so those are the memories that I get from this palette. Okay, next is what I feel is the most underrated palette in my collection, and that's the Beauty Rituals palette from the Makeup Pharmacy. I've done a few videos with this palette, and I've looked on YouTube. I don't see videos on this other than mine. I mean, it's just such a beautiful, grungy, purple, maroon, deep, dark, delicious palette. I just love it so much. I'm just so happy that I added this to my collection. And I have to show you the black in this palette. The black. I'm going to regret this because I'm going to have black everywhere. But look at how pigmented that black is. It's just stunning. And the silver color, I mean, just beautiful. What the heck, this color, sacred. Look at that. I mean, the pigmentation in this palette is just off the charts. I don't know why people are sleeping on this brand, this palette. Like I said, I've done a few videos with it, and every look I've created with this palette has just been stunning. I love this palette. I love it. Okay, next is not a favorite, but can't get rid of, which is funny because I've never gotten rid of any of my palettes. I just always felt like, I don't know, for some reason or another, I might want to pull them out, which is a good thing because I was able to do it with this one. Now, this is the Shiny eyeshadow palette. I got this when I first started doing drag, and some of the pans are coming loose, so I have to be careful with how I hold this up. But as you can see, it's a rainbow palette. I don't know how many shades are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 40 shades, It's a rainbow palette. When I first got this, I just thought it was the most amazing thing. It's actually not that bad as far as pigmentation. I mean, it's not, you know, here's the blue. I mean, it's not the greatest, but when I first got it, that green isn't too bad. Well, let's see the black. Yeah, the black is just, you know, you can't compare that to like the Beauty Rituals. But you know, it was very inexpensive. Got it off of Amazon, and when I first started doing drag, this is what I used, and probably why I look back at the old makeup looks and I cringe. But it's not a horrible palette, but you know, compared to things that I have in my collection now, I mean, you can't compare this to the Beauty Bay Bright Mattes, or definitely not the Blend Bunnies Blend palette, or you know, something along those lines. I mean, even most of my BH Cosmetics palettes, even a lot of Wet n Wild palettes, this just really is, you know, it's lacking in pigmentation and all those things, but it was very inexpensive, and you know, I was just starting out playing around with drag. I certainly wasn't going to invest a lot of money at that point, and the palette did what I needed it to do at the time, so that's why I can't get rid of it. Okay, next we have Fave Collab, and this was very easy. It's the Annette and Odin's Eye, the Giant Wolves palette. I just love this color story. I have to do another video with this palette. It's just such a beautiful palette. You know, it's got these dark grungy tones, beautiful shimmers. It even has a multi-chrome in it. I think, yes, Eternal. This is the multi-chrome. I thought I wasn't going to be swatching. My fingers are filthy now. But there's the multi-chrome. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it is a multi-chrome, and it's just such a beautiful palette, and like the black in here, really, really, really pigmented. You know, when a black is really good in a palette, I mean, you know it's a good palette, because usually blacks are not good. Blacks and whites, I don't know why, but they skimp on those. Not Odin's Eye though. This is it's so beautifully pigmented, blendable, smooth, blinding shimmers, and you know, Annette is such a wonderful person. She's actually promoted me on Instagram, as you know, telling people to follow me, and I can't help it. You know, that goes a long way in my book. Having somebody like her, who has, you know, thousands of followers, you know, recommending me to her followers, it just was really, it was really quite touching, and because of that, this is my favorite collab palette, and but honestly, it would have been my favorite collab even if she hadn't done those things, because I just love this palette so much. Okay, my 2021 favorite, and if you follow my channel, you might be able to guess what it is, and it is the Blend Bunny Surge palette. I just freaking love this palette. I just love this palette. Just move the plastic out of the way. It's like just a dream come true, this palette. You've got your pastels, your brighter mattes, your darker grungy mattes, your shimmers, your neons. I've done quite a few videos with this palette. I've used it for performances, and it's just so good. It's just so good. And yeah, that's why this is my 2021 favorite palette. Should I swatch anything for you? Here, let me show you Vinyl, the black. Look at that. Look at that. What's another good one? This color, Taboo. I love that. I love that. What else is good? This color, Flash. That shimmer. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. It's just a it's a grungy dream come true as far as palettes go, and another one, I just love it. Okay, this is a palette I didn't expect to love. And I ordered it because it was a collab and it was Halloween, but after I had ordered it, I was like, should I really have ordered it? I don't know if I really like the color story. It looks like things are repetitive. And it's the Hip Dot and Addams Family collab. And when I open it up for you, here you see, it's sort of a mauvey, reddish, grayish black, silver, and white shades. And I turned myself into a drag version of Morticia with this palette. And actually, I think I was wearing this wig, although it was styled quite differently. But it's only an 8-pan palette. But really, for like smoky looks, this palette is terrific. It's just so good. I didn't realize when I ordered it how good it was. Let me see if I can just swatch something for you here. The black on this is not as pigmented as some of those other palettes. The black with the shimmer is a little more pigment. This color, the rusty one, is really good. And that white shimmer. Yeah, so good. So it doesn't necessarily bother me that much when a black isn't super pigmented, especially like with this palette. You've already got a lot of dark tones, so the black doesn't have to be that pigmented to really to deepen these other mattes. Actually, if it was more pigmented, it might overpower them. So I think it was just a very well thought out palette, and like I said, I've created some beautiful smoky looks with it, and I did not expect to love it. Okay, next is a palette that sparks joy, and that was an easy one because it's my palette, the Naughty or Nice eyeshadow palette that I did with Alexis Flame. And here it is, a very special limited edition palette. The first row are the naughty colors for Alexis. The bottom row are the nice colors for me, Toni Homeperm. So we have the white called Chiller, the red called Flame, the black called Horror Diva, and those are all Alexis's colors. And then down below, my colors, pink called Modesty, a purple called Pretty, and this beautiful blue called Singing Diva. And yeah, I love this palette so much. Yeah, because I helped create it, and it just brings me joy. It really does. And if you would like to get your own, I have all the details for it listed down below. Shameless plug. Okay, next on the list is newest palette in your collection, and actually, it's two. They are both from Aris May, and one of these was sent to me in PR. One of them I bought myself. Okay, they're both 30-pan eyeshadow palettes. This is the matte. I purchased this one myself, and I did a video with it. I'll leave the link for that down below. Beautiful, very pigmented, beautiful rainbow palette, and I created a really beautiful look with it. Everybody said I look like cotton candy, and which works for me. I'm good with that. And yeah, a beautiful, beautiful matte rainbow palette. And then after they saw that I did that, they were so nice, and they sent me the shimmer palette that goes with it, and this is it here. And it's very pigmented. You don't really realize when you look at it, it looks like everything is very muted, but when I swatched it, these shimmers have a lot of pigment, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, these two are the newest palette in my collection. Okay, and last but not least, the first palette used in 2022, and I wasn't really sure which one it was. I had to look through my videos and look at dates and things, and it actually turns out the very first palette that I applied to my eyes in 2022, it was this one, the City Color Paradise Love Purple Vibes palette. And I did a whole video on City Color, and let me see. Let me open it up for you. Yeah, it's a beautiful little purple monochromatic palette, and I had a lot of fun making the look with it that I did. And so yeah, this was the very first that I used in 2022. Well, there you have it. There are all my answers to the Eyeshadow Palette Tag number 2. I hope that you enjoyed this little stroll with me, looking at some of my palettes. As I said, when I'm done with this, probably I'll think back and say, oh, I should have picked this palette or that palette, but yeah, that's how I am. But right now, at this moment, here in time, these are my answers to the questions, and they'll probably be completely different tomorrow. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button down below, and of course, as long as you're hitting the like button, you might as well hit the subscribe and the notification bell. You can also catch me in my weekly podcast, God'll Get You for That, Walter. That's the show I do with Tom Cat. We watch episodes of the 1970s sitcom Maude. We review them. We talk about how things were in the 1970s, how things have changed, and how things have still stayed the same. There's also my internet variety show, Naughty or Niiiiiice, with the horror diva Alexis Flame. We also have a complete line of merchandise, including that Naughty or Nice eyeshadow palette I showed you, and the details for all of the shows, all of the merchandise, everywhere you can find me, Toni Homeperm, on social media. It's all listed down below. Well, kids, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this little eyeshadow palette tag video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.